right, this is Jimmy D coming to you from the drawing room in Davenport with another review, Simply Stogies. And we are reviewing today the Coroneta Habano from Crown Heads. This is the Earl size, so the Earl size is 5x52. This is made at Noxa for Crown Heads. And they did this duality thing where they had two different factories blend two different cigars, but they're named the same. So there's a Maduro version that's made by Ernesto, and then there's a Habano version made by Noxa. So we're going to jump into this cigar. We're going to give it a review. This is an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, and it has Nicaragua filler and binder, and you're getting tobaccos from Condega, Estelí, Jalapa. So I'm looking forward to it. Traditionally, I'm a Habano guy, so we're doing a straight cut on this cigar, and we're gonna see what we got here. I get a very light aroma, a little bit of hay, kind of a musty hay, like some hay that's been sitting outside for a little while. Barnyard. And then just a fermented tobacco deliciousness on the foot. Cold draw. You get a little woodiness on it. But nothing that jumps right out on the cold draw. So let's toast it. Let's start smoking it. Gotta toast that foot. Yeah, one of the things that I find interesting about the idea behind this concept, I guess John put together over at Crown Heads, is just I have smoked both of these, multiple vitolas of both of the Habano and the Maduro, and I generally am a Habano guy, but that Maduro actually was really good, and I thought I would enjoy the Habano a little bit more, but we'll see how it does this time. This is my first time smoking the Earl Vitola, which I just tell everybody is a robusto. But, yeah. So I get hay right off the jump. And one thing I've experienced with this before, and I'm having it happen again, whatever the blend of the tobaccos in this cigar, it initially will start to dry my mouth out. And usually I can combat that by drinking things, but it's just not my favorite thing to have happen when I first start smoking a cigar. I hate having a dry mouth when I smoke a cigar. I want a cigar that's going to make me salivate. So we'll see if that continues, but I almost get like an almond note off of it. And when I say an almond note, a lot of times with tasting notes, it's not the actual item you're referencing. So when I say I'm getting almond off of it, it's after I've taken a handful of almonds, I've chewed those almonds up, and I've swallowed it, and I kind of have that like almond aftertaste in my mouth. That's what I get off of this cigar. Very creamy, no spice, Strength for me on this is a medium. Creamy, nutty, a little bit of hay, moist hay. As far as construction goes, lit fine, we're burning fine. I don't expect to have construction issues. The wrapper's smooth, not super toothy, not super oily. So yeah, that's the first third. We'll come back for the second third. We're back with the second third. Coroneta Habano, made at Noxa, Crown Heads. This is a classic Nicaraguan Habano to me. That dryness has gone away, and now I'm just getting minerality. I'm getting leather, and there's a wood note that's coming in. Construction has been great. I haven't ashed it yet, and it's just been stacking dimes. And the burn is crisp, clear, draws great. This is what I expect. The spice started to come up, kind of like baking spice a little bit as I've gotten into it, but it's just, you absolutely have to retrohale this cigar. When you retrohale it, that's when you unlock just, I think, the beauty of this cigar, that mustiness. I really get a lot of mustiness off of this cigar. Just that kind of damp tobacco aroma and taste. The creaminess really comes through on the retrohale. That's where you're also going to get the spice to unlock a little bit, but that little bit of minerality on the back end. This is a long finish smoke. So like that, when you draw that smoke in and you let it out, it hangs around on your palate. And I think that adds to the complexity of the flavor that you get in this cigar. Really enjoy it. It's still, for me, strength-wise, we're still at a medium. And flavor, we're at medium plus. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is definitely a complex cigar. There's transitions that are happening. Yeah, leather. There's just like an oakiness to it, kind of like it's almost like a musty oak smell. Like if you opened up a barrel that had been aging something, some type of liquor, and you'd kind of dried it out, but the wood was still a little bit wet. Like, that's what I'm imagining when I'm smoking this. Love the retrohale. The retrohale on this is addictive. I mean, every time I draw on it, I want to retrohale it. And it just, when you retrohale it, just, it's like this dance that's happening. It's a very well-balanced, not one thing kind of really steps up and takes center stage. It just, you kind of have these layers of like leather and oak and tobacco and spice. But it's more of a sublette spice too. It's not like a spicy, like I think of Nicaraguan tobacco a lot. This is, tastes very well aged, I guess is the way I would say it. So it's more of like a baking spice. But it's doing great so far. Construction is amazing, draws amazing, flavor's great. So that's the second third. We'll wrap it up with the final third. So we're back for the final third on the Coroneta Habano from Crown Heads and Noxa. And just to kind of wrap things up, I would classify this cigar as subtle. So there are transitions. The transitions are very subtle. I'm getting the same flavors through the cigar for the most part. Maybe at the end, the final third, starting to get increase in minerality a little bit, but for the most part, this is just a very approachable, consistent. Construction's been great. I haven't had any burn issues, haven't had to touch it up at all. Draw's been great the whole time. But I kept waiting for more. I kept waiting for it to open up a little bit, and it just kind of stayed the same with minor fluctuations in flavor, but all those same flavors, the mustiness, the oak, the minerality comes through a lot stronger on the retrohale in the final third. Those baking spices are still there, and just a little bit of earthiness, but not much at all. So I would just, in retrospect, to wrap it up for me, I think that the flavor progression was there, but it was very, very subtle. And for me, my score on the Coroneta Habano from Crown Heads would be an 8.4. I think it's a cigar I'd smoke again. I have smoked before. There's just a lot of Habanos out on the market that I think would open up a little bit. This feels like I'm driving a car with a governor on it. That there's more there, but it's not manifesting itself in the cigar or in the retrohale. But I think it's just a classic Nicaraguan Habano. It's got flavor. Again, still medium for strength, medium plus for flavor. And the quality's there. Great smoke, no burn issues. So for me, 8.4, I would smoke it again.